Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Justin Carlucci, Luch of FanDuel, here to talk about Thursday's slate because all hell broke loose over the past 72 hours. And by the time you even watch this, some of these people might not even be in the right places. But I'm here to take a look at Thursday's slate with you guys. But first of all, a little bit about myself. I've been playing FanDuel for like 2 years, been playing fantasy league since I could talk. Been pretty successful at NBA. I'm a pretty damn good cash games player. I'm a 2017 World Fantasy Basketball Championship finalist. Took down a qualifier last week. Took down the monster with a single lineup earlier in December because, I don't play that multi-entry bullshit. One shot, one kill, what's the deal? That's all I got to say about that. But I'm pretty optimal player. NBA is my strong suit, and I got two of my buddies here who I shoot the shit with, building lineups all the time, and they're pretty good analysts themselves. So I'll swing it over to Trey, my buddy Trey Roberts in the house tonight. What's up, Trey?
Oh, what's going on, man? I don't have that resume you do, but I'm a pretty good cash game player. I fucking suck at GPPs. I just come around, make some money, Hit me up with PGA, hit me up with NFL, MLB, NBA, I'm okay. I'm all right. Get the job done, make a little profit, but, just here to have some fun.
Cool. And Bob Volio out west in Cali. What's going on, buddy? It's been a while.
Not much, Lucci. My man, yeah, it's been got to be on the phone with you when you took down that monster. It's exciting times. Wishing you luck out there in Miami next month. Unfortunately, I can't make the trip with you. But, so yeah, cash games actually not so much for me. I'm more of a GPP player. I love playing, absolute scumbags like Kelly Olynyk on a dime and praying to take it all down. So the crazier the play, the better for me. So
yeah,
into it.
Big balls Bobby, man.
Big balls Bob, as they call me. GPP Bob. Late slate Bob, hashtag it. So yeah, we got a crazy 6-game slate tomorrow, and like you said, Luch, some of these players might not even be in the right uniforms tomorrow. So let's jump right into it.
Yeah, let's just go game by game. 6 games tomorrow with so many people in play and out of play though. 7:00 game, Portland and Orlando, and well, there's some news there. Obviously, Nurkic played his first game and got 21 minutes before the All-Star break. Did have 8 points off blocks and steals I saw, but we know what he's capable of in limited time. Vucevic isn't the best defending center, so Nurkic is definitely going to have his ownership tomorrow. That's the first thing that pops in my mind when talking about that game. What do you think, Trey, about Portland, Orlando?
First thing, just what you said, Vucevic, Nurkic, fuck Mike Malone, first of all. He ruined that man's career. It's going to be nice to see him in Portland, give him a chance to, shine. He's got, 21 minutes his first game? It'll probably be about the same this game, but we're looking at a 3.7 price tag. That's not too bad. You cracking open a beer over there?
No, I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
But yeah, I could see playing either guy on that side. I'm not a big DraftKings guy, more for FanDuel. I'm sure you guys are the same way. But I don't know, man. Trades breaking tomorrow. We might have something else, but I'm definitely going to have one of the two, I think. I think it's either going to be Voos or Nurk.
What's up, Bob?
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. Got a lot of moving pieces in Portland and Orlando. Biggest probably name coming out of Orlando was the Serge Ibaka trade to Toronto. Leaves a lot of value open, a lot of shots to be taken by other players, namely one of our favorite DFS players, Mr. Elfrid Payton himself. He's a wild card tomorrow, I think, at point guard. He's a wild card. We hate him. We absolutely hate him, but he could be thrust back into the starting lineup tomorrow with CJ Watson potentially out. Fournier, another good potential play. CJ McCollum, actually, a pretty below-average defender this year, actually kind of surprising. On the Portland side, when it comes to injuries, Alfred Gaminu actually will be out tomorrow as well. Probably Portland's best defender, and I think that opens up the door for Aaron Gordon, who will be playing power forward primarily moving forward to possibly make a jump and make some noise tomorrow. So a lot of good plays tomorrow in that game.
Elfrid Payton makes me want to drink myself into a coma, but he's definitely a good tournament play tomorrow. You want to talk about a guy who could realistically hit 7 times value and then some. He has a good matchup. And Portland basically speeds up whoever they play, and the Magic usually play slow. And I think Vegas had Orlando at like 103.5 as of right now, which isn't a bad team total for them. But the departure of Ibaka is definitely interesting. It's funny because earlier in the season, Fournier missed a lot of time, so Ibaka and Peyton were reaping the benefits off of Fournier's void. But now it's kind of the exact opposite. And Vooch actually saw some good minutes before the break. I know Scott Skiles wasn't really feeling him in the beginning of the year, and but he's been raking. And we know Portland's suspect against big men. Not sure how much Nurkic is going to improve in that department, especially if he's limited to 20-21 minutes right off the bat or so. But yeah, I definitely like Vooch. He has like a 0.07 per minute increase without Ibaka. So it's like 1.2 per minute this year, which is pretty solid. I think he's got a pretty high floor tomorrow. But yeah, Fournier I think's in play. A lot of Magic are in play. Aaron Gordon, he didn't look good at the dunk contest. Didn't have those hops, no bunnies, and a little bit concerning. But I haven't heard anything on him. Had a couple of days off, so I'm sure he that injury he aggravated before the break, I'm sure, he'll be in better shape tomorrow. Trey, anything else on Portland, Orlando?
Oh, I got a guy for you, Bob. Mr. GPP scumbag, Terrence Ross coming in. That Ibaka trade opened some doors. He got a little minutes. We've seen he's primarily a scoring guy, but you give him 25, 30 minutes on a good matchup. Like you said, Alfred Amunu's out. He's going to get we'll see him at small forward, shooting guard. He'll get McCollum and
Harkless, Evan Turner, ET.
Evan Turner's out too, so we're going to see a lot of Mo Harkless. And
yeah, ET is
the door is open for him, and the Magic, they don't got much to play for right now. They might as well let the young guys fly out there. So I think we could see it's a big if. We could see a 30-minute game from Terrence Ross, and he balls out. Min Price. Whew.
I know, Bob. I'm personally skeptical of guys making their initial appearance. Like, I don't even know how many minutes Boogie's going to see. So my personal advice is if you're not on a computer around lock and you're not following beat writers from these teams to kind of absorb as much information as you can, especially tomorrow. I wouldn't even bother playing tomorrow. I'm personally going to tread lightly tomorrow. I think it's pointless to play cash games tomorrow personally, so I'll probably play a little bit of a tournament, but I'm not going to go crazy. Definitely need to take a couple of days and see how things are going to shake out. And it's definitely not over yet. I mean, more pieces are going to be moved. Bob, anything else with that game?
Yeah, just to piggyback off of Trey, I mean, it is going to be it's very difficult to play somebody coming up onto a new team. There's new chemistries that have to be made, a lot of different things. And, like you said, we can touch on that game later. But, Boogie is another big name that we're going to talk about a little bit. But just to piggyback also off of what you said about the over-under, it's going to be a crazy slate tomorrow because Portland-Orlando actually is the second lowest over-under, currently sitting at 213. We got Portland at 108 and Orlando at 105 right now. So that just kind of goes to show you what tomorrow is going to kind of look like. It's going to be a little crazy scoring-wise.
Yeah, 7:30, the second earliest game tomorrow. Charlotte and Detroit. KCP and Drummond in the midst of some trade rumors. I didn't expect Drummond to be kind of on the market, but, we heard Paul George might be on the market. I don't really know how serious any of these GMs actually are. But Cody Zeller's already ruled out. So, listen, I generally don't like targeting against either of these two teams, and especially Detroit. They're just blah. Their pace blows. They don't run and gun. They run half court sets. I mean, their pace sucks. Charlotte's pace sucks. So this is kind of a dog shit game for me to target. But you might want to go back to the well with Frank Kaminsky here because Zeller's out and he's playing hella minutes. And he's earned that trust in the rotation, and he's had some average matchups. He's not even had a ton of cupcake matchups over the past 5 or 6 games before the All-Star breaks, and he's getting the volume. And he's going to be around the basket for 35 minutes, so the ball's got to fall into his hands, so he's going to rebound. So I like Kaminsky. I would expect to see fairly significant ownership for him. The last real slate before the break, I thought he'd be much higher ownership than he was, and I'm not complaining. I had him. I punched my world ticket with him in my lineup, so he was part of the Miami process. But yeah, I guess you can make a case for Kemba Walker, but we know his road in home splits and he's on the road. And you can make a case for, we'll have to see what shakes out with KCP and Drummond, because if either of them leave, I mean, you want to talk about Reggie Jackson getting some usage. If KCP is gone, we're going to talk some Marcus Morris, Tobias Harris off the bench. I mean, this could be Armageddon tomorrow by 3 o'clock, boys. So I guess we'll see what happens. Trey, over to you. Detroit and Charlotte. What's good?
Well, like you said, this is one of the shittiest games on the slate. And as of right now, we're not going to have any exposure to it, maybe minimal, but you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. Like you said, Drummond, KCP. I heard Reggie Jackson rumors as of last week. So, I mean, we could see Ish Smith coming in. God, Charlotte on the road, just dog shit. Kemba Walker, he's a road home guy. Like, you take him at home, you don't take him on the road. And just if you do and he does well, that's luck. That's dog shit. Like, you throw some darts out there, I guess you're going to hit home every once in a while. But like you said, Frank, it's going to be interesting to see Drummond try to guard him. He's a stretch 4, stretch 5 kind of player. We saw it in college. We see it in the NBA. Like, how's he going to guard him out on the 3-point line? It might take a hit for his rebounds, but we're talking, he hits 4 or 5 threes, starts feeling hot. Drummond stretches out. We see him have 25 points, get 7 boards. There you go, right there. That's a hell of a game. And that's not out of the question by any means. But I mean, maybe KCP is a GPP guy. If he doesn't get traded, you want to take a shot in the dark. I know Batum has a rep as a good defender, but they've struggled against the wing this year. So, but I mean, more than likely, we're going to have really limited exposure from this game unless all hell breaks loose, which could happen. But we'll see. I guess we'll wait and see.
Real quick, Bob, before I throw it to you, on the flip side of the battle between centers, I mean, Drummond could take Kaminsky to the proverbial woodshed, man, down low.
Fuck Andre Drummond. That is what I'm going to say. Every time this man has a good matchup, he lets us down. I mean, it feels like we have to – he's like Whiteside. Him and Whiteside, same player. We got to target him against good guys, and then just hope he goes off. I mean, ideally, what is he tomorrow? 8.3. So we're looking at 40 points for 6 times value, and he's going to let us down.
All right, Bob, what's good?
Yeah, speaking of prices, Kaminsky definitely getting up there at 6K on FanDuel right now. But, coming off a pretty impressive showing, actually, in the Rising Stars Challenge, along with a couple other players. And like you said, Luch, he hasn't disappointed, regardless of the matchup. He's seen some pretty tough matchups with DeAndre Jordan, Rudy Gobert, and he's still performed pretty adequately, I would say. So, again, it is a dog shit game. I believe Charlotte actually has the lowest total currently on the slate, like 105, 105.5. I'm sorry, 101 or 101.5. But, a lot of trade rumors surrounding Detroit right now. It would be insane to see Drummond get traded and see possibly a John Moore sighting. John Moore kind of a double-double against Charlotte. That would be kind of that would be DFS in a nutshell. But, I don't think there's much to take away from this game. Assuming everybody stays put, very minimal exposure.
Yeah, one other guy I would like for a tournament would be I love Tobias Harris off the bench. That's all his usage. You can target the Hornets at power forward. And you kind of saw that trend last year. Not much has changed with Marvin Williams and whoever else they run at the 4. So I think Tobias is a decent tournament play too. Scary floor, but high ceiling. Let's go move on to the first game on TNT. Nothing like a TNT game. That's only like one of the only pre-game, post-game shows I actually tune into. I love TNT games. And you got Melo, who's and D Rose, who are both surrounded in hella trade rumors too, going against King James and Kyrie. No Kevin Love, so you got Channing Frye and his price is up. Tristan Thompson's like 6.4. What the hell is that shit? I never thought I'd see the day Tristan Thompson's over 6,000, but hey, it is what it is. And you got LeBron over 11.4, Kyrie's 9, and like I get it, they're very high usage guys without Kevin Love, but it kind of pains me to pay 11.4 for LeBron when he barely cracks 50 with or without Love. I mean, let's face it, LeBron ain't going for 70. Kyrie ain't going for 70. That just doesn't happen. If you don't have that upside at 11.4, LeBron's tough for me to roster. Center's a weird spot tomorrow. Noah is already ruled out, so I know Hernan Gomez price is getting up there, and there's not really a huge boost without Noah on the floor, but it's all about getting the minutes. Now that he's starting as it is and probably going to hover around 30 minutes, this guy is a point per minute machine. Rebounds, blocks. He can put the ball in the basket, clean it up. He hustles. I don't see crazy upside here, but if you're talking about a guy who could definitely sniff and exceed 5 times value, you're looking at Hernan Gomez as an option at center tomorrow. Porzingis hasn't been playing well lately, so but no Kevin Love, so that's one less guy has to worry about in the paint. But I'm hit or miss on Porzingis, man. He's been seeing the volume, just can't really put it together. But he's definitely going to be in play. We'll see what happens with Derrick Rose. If Derrick Rose gets traded, it definitely got to consider Porzingis. Melo, not really a huge fan. Small forward is ugly, but 8.6, not much upside there. What do you think, Trey?
Yeah, the first thing that we talked about on the start of this was the Portland-Orlando, and you touched on it a little bit with Hernan Gomez. I said there was 2 centers I was thinking about. The third guy right here is him, and I don't know what kind of upside he presents, but Tristan Thompson's not the biggest cat, so we're looking at he could dominate the glass. You don't want to talk about 20 forward upside. We're talking about maybe 15. 15, a couple blocks, a couple steals. That's a hell of a play with the ugly position tomorrow. And Derrick Rose, I don't know. Derrick Rose might be gone tomorrow, and like you said, that opens the door for Porzingis, but it opens the door for Jennings. He's a little overpriced, but that also means ownership's going to be down. And we know him. We know Kyrie. That could be one of those bullshit matchups where he drops 40 points, no rebounds, no assists, and you walk away happy because he got 40 points from Brandon Jennings. There's no way I'm roster LeBron tomorrow. That price. 10.5 point spread, the highest spread. I think we'd be surprised if we saw him play more than 32 minutes. I mean, he's coming out of the All-Star break. They're going to want to keep him fresh down the stretch, and this game means nothing. One thing I did notice when I was looking it up is Melo actually has a good track record against LeBron. It doesn't mean I'll play him, but he wanted some consideration. I think it was like 42 points per game he averaged against him last year, it's still not hitting 6 times value, but it's still, a solid floor for a small forward at, once again, another ugly position. But we're going to have to see how the trade rumors work out. It's going to be a very interesting slate tomorrow. One thing you just got to remember is you got to be by your phone by 3:30 for us West Coast guys, 6:30 for you guys. Be ready because all hell is going to break loose.
What's up, Bobby?
Yeah, a quick note actually on the Cavaliers. They're actually surprisingly not doing too well against small forward this year. Actually ranked 24th in DVP versus small forward this year. So I don't know if that's a LeBron thing or what, but yeah. So I got a smile on my face, fellas, because I did a little bit of researching, and I think I got my first GPP. Just throw a quick little dart out there for tomorrow. So I've been reading the injury reports, and Courtney Lee is a name that may not be playing tomorrow, and thinking about going back to the well tomorrow with my man Justin Holiday. Justin Holiday, 5 games this season without Courtney Lee. 27.2, 21.6, 26.6, 24.4, 27.2. Seems the rate without Courtney Lee. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, when you have the nickname the walking bucket, I mean, you might as well. And, Cleveland's been a little suspect against shooting guards, too. But, I don't know if that's a LeBron thing, but they got no rim protector in Cleveland. Nobody protects the rim there. So I kind of think that might have to do with a lot of threes or slashers. But, there's going to be ownership all over in this game. Kind of hard to fit it all in. But let's move on. Let's try to condense this a little bit. You got a game with an over-under that's probably as high as the Powerball, Houston and New Orleans. I don't have it on my phone, but obviously you got the Boogie acquisition. You got Lou Will going to Houston, which is really going to hurt Eric Gordon for sure. James Harden might even play a few less ticks. I don't know how much Boogie's actually going to play, so you got to stay tuned to see those reports. But if he's not playing, his regular lot limit of minutes, trying to get used to the system, this game could be a blowout, honestly. But I think I'm not really worried about the spread tomorrow. I think Harden is your premier player on this slate. I think Harden is the stud to own. There's no doubt about it, especially with all the trades and all the moves. I think you got to get James Harden in your lineup somehow. Other than that, this game is going to see a lot of points. There's a ton of value. And Etuan Moore is going to start. I mean, the roster is depleted in New Orleans. There's nobody left on it. So I'm seriously considering I'm going to do a little more digging. But, I mean, Tim Frazier had 40-point upside at the beginning of the season. And I don't know who else on that bench is going to play guard. I really don't. So it's possible that Frazier sees 30 minutes. And if I'm punting tomorrow, I got to strongly take a look at Tim Frazier. What's up, Trey?
No, just to piggyback up what you said, Harden's the guy you have to own tomorrow, 100%. If you're paying up for a guy, it's got to be him. I mean, we're looking at a weird game. Etuan Moore, Solomon Hill, and then studs. I mean, I don't know if you can call Drew Holiday a stud, but his prices wasn't up there. You got DeMarcus, it's a big question mark. AD's a big question mark with DeMarcus. I think they make both for good GPP plays because there's so many questions around them. I feel like everybody's going to do what we're doing and, question it and just move on because we don't want to pay up. I mean, we're paying up for Harden. You're not going to pay up for AD. You're not going to pay up for Cousins. So you'll get them a decent ownership, but, I mean, that's about it. I don't think there's good plays. And like you said with Frazier, point guard's a little interesting tomorrow with all the trade rumors. I mean, we got guys in Sac, we got guys in Denver. We'll get to that later. Not so much trade, but, starters coming back at point guard that might diminish value. So if we're looking for value, that's a hell of a play. And we'll probably get them, 10%. Everybody's going to overlook that. And, CP3 coming back. All the things at point guard that we'll get to later, but Frazier could be a hell of a play.
Go ahead, Bob. What's up?
Yeah, I definitely agree with the Etuan Moore pick. Absolutely no depth left at guard right now in New Orleans. And, Etuan Moore, I think the Pelicans just took on Sixers favorite. By favorite, I mean absolutely trash truck juice, Hollis Thompson, to a 10-day contract. So that's pretty much how bad it's getting the guard position in New Orleans right now. I'm curious, though, about Houston, and maybe I haven't read up on this too much. I don't know, is Lou Williams 100% to play tomorrow?
I would assume he'll be available. I guess that's something to keep an eye on because if he's not, Eric Gordon obviously still an option there for sure.
Especially Eric Gordon coming off another impressive performance in the 3-point contest as well. My favorite, the revenge game narrative. Eric Gordon would be a potential one, but like Trey said, James Harden, you have to have him tomorrow. If you're not, you're doing it wrong already. But Etuan Moore from New Orleans, and then like you said, keep an eye on all the news. That game. This game and the Sacramento game is definitely what to look out for in terms of value and just news in general. Hey, Luch, I think your mic's muted.
Yeah, there's a Denver-Sacramento game at 10:30 tomorrow, and let's jump into that because that's going to be a sight for sore eyes. Probably Denver plays super fast. Who knows what Sacramento's going to bring to the table? You have all these cheap guys, and no one really knows – first of all, what the rotation is going to look like. Second of all, how much volume each guy's actually going to get. I mean, Boogie shoots the ball 15 to 30 times a game. Those obviously have to be distributed somewhere. You're going to get a lot of guys on Willie Cauley-Stein. If I'm playing cash, I'm looking into WCS. No one's really talking about Kufis, but I think he exceeded 5 times value like 85% of the times without Boogie last season. But once again, you don't know exactly what's going to shake out. But Kufis is definitely in play. Anthony Tolliver's in play. The whole roster is in play. Ben McLemore's the guy who's been seeing a ton of minutes. Matt Barnes got cut. No more Caspi. So Ben McLemore can legitimately play shooting guard, small forward. There was reports of him playing power forward this year. So, I mean, if you're looking at a guy who's 4K on FanDuel and can play 40 minutes, doesn't really offer anything in terms of peripherals, but you got to consider him. And Tyreek Evans, I mean, he's coming home. This is where he was before, and he's going to play like 27 minutes, but he's so cheap, and he contributes in peripherals that, he can get you 6 times value easily in 27 minutes. I don't think that's an issue, but just too much uncertainty tomorrow. You got to really be careful with what you're playing. Also at point guard, you got Darren Collison, who's my favorite player from this game. You're going to have to look at Darren Collison. He shot double digits in 4 of the last 5 games, double-digit shot attempts before the break. He's playing close to 40 minutes. He's crushing value at 5.5. Denver's awful against point guards. The pace is great. If I'm close to locking anybody from this game is probably Darren Carlson. But I know, Bob, I know you like Ty Lawson a little bit this season, and a little bit of a revenge game here, revenge game narrative. So I'm going to toss it to you first about this game. Talk to me about tomorrow.
Yes, like you said, Ty Lawson and Darren Carlson, another name that's been popping up in some trade rumors. So, God forbid we see him make the move tomorrow. It's going to be the Ty Lawson show on offense.
Well, Bob just dipped out. He must have hit the wrong button. But Trey, I'll toss it over to you.
Did we just lose Bob? Did he say it was going to be a Ty Lawson show? Maybe he went to the bar with Ty Lawson. I think that would be appropriate with tomorrow. Like you said, Carlson's one of the top plays in the slate, and then Ty Lawson coming back makes a little uncertainty. But I mean, how can you pass up on that? We got McLemore talking about playing the 4. A lot of questions at 2 with Buddy Hield coming in. I could see him playing 35 plus minutes, and if you can get that at that price tag against, like you said, the Nuggets, they've been poor against a point guard this year, so that's a hell of a matchup. I mean, if you're playing cash games, I'd lock him in. GPP, maybe you want to fade him at the chance that Ty Lawson comes in and takes a little run, but for cash, I mean, you have to have him. Like you said, Willie Cauley-Stein, same thing. Tyreke Evans is one of my favorite plays tomorrow. I know there's reports coming out saying he's playing 27 minutes, but 27 minutes, 30 minutes, that's 3 minutes off. And if we know he's going to play 30 minutes in a decent matchup, a high-paced game, then we're going to take it every time. He offers more than just scoring. He offers the peripherals. He offers everything. So, I mean, if we get Tyreke, drops 15, 7, and 6, throwing a couple steals, some bullshit, we'll take that every time. You can pay up and get your LeBrons, your KDs, your Melo if you want to go down that road. But this game is going to offer a lot of points. It's just about finding which guys to play, and hopefully it shakes out. Everything's good by tomorrow. We'll get some injury news. I know that the Nuggets have some shit going on. Gallinari, I think he's probable for tomorrow now. Wilson Chandler, Plumlee. Plumlee might be a good play. The only thing that sucks is he's at center. He's going to be starting at power forward, more than likely, if Mike Malone doesn't fuck us again, like he always does, which is a big if. But Plumlee's like a poor man's Jokic. Like, that's what he is. I mean, at half the price, you can get a guy that's going to fuck around and get a triple-double, as Ice Cube would say, It might not be a good triple-double. It might be a Draymond triple-double, but sure as shit, that man might put up 50 fantasy points, and you're going to get him at 5-10% ownership. So he could be a good GPP play. You just got to worry about the blowout. But I think we got Bob back, so let's see what he's got.
Sorry about that, fellas. I got the internet equivalent of a hamster running on a treadmill right now, so I love this. So yeah, we are still in this game, and I think the last thing I was saying before I got cut off was the potential Darren Carlson trade rumors. It being the Ty Lawson show on offense, if anything were to happen. From the Denver side of things, yeah, a lot of trade rumors surrounding them as well. For all we know, it is Denver. It is Mike Malone. Anything could happen. 4 players could get traded, or 0 could get traded. We could see a fully healthy, Nuggets team tomorrow. And yeah, it's very hard to tell with Denver. Denver is one of my least favorite teams to roster and or deal with in DFS. But yeah, a lot of value in that game. And yeah, pretty much caught the tail end of what Trey was saying. Plumlee, pretty solid pick tomorrow.
Yeah, this is our first time using Google Hangouts. Couldn't see it, Bob. Of course, now I see it. I don't know. We gotta bear with us here, folks. But yeah, of course, Mike Malone, everybody's favorite coach, put Plumlee in for 30 minutes first time with the team. Fucked over everybody with Juancho Hernangomez and his 87% freaking ownership across the board, probably. So who knows? But yeah, you would expect to see Plumlee play a ton of minutes again. Not someone I'm personally going to look into, but this game is definitely going to have a ton of Kings ownership. Also, I'm liking Jameer Nelson. I read reports that he's going to start over Moutier regardless, and Moutier is questionable. He might not even play. If Moutier is out, probably going to lock in Jameer Nelson. Still 5.5. This guy's been money. He's been crushing value. And I think the Kings are going to – I think that the pace of the Kings is going to be cranked up a little bit without Boogie. I think you're going to see this team run and gun. You got guys that like to really hammer it up and down the court. And I'm loving Jameer Nelson tomorrow if Moutier is out especially. But we got one more game here before we get out of here. Clippers and Warriors. It's the late game, 10:30 on TNT. Chris Paul might be coming back, and that would totally throw another wrench into a slate that's already a fucking toolbox. So, man, I don't know off the top of my head here. Chris Paul really, if he plays, I don't like Curry as much, obviously. I'm not rushing to roster Curry tomorrow. But with small forward being as kind of bare as it is in my eyes, I got to put Durant in play tomorrow for sure. And Blake Griffin is definitely rosterable too. He's just been tearing it up, absolutely tearing it up. But, you notice skilled big men kind of clean up against Golden State. Going to be interesting to see, who has the the better advantage between DeAndre and Blake. I think at this point, Blake's ceiling's higher. But yeah, I'm going to have to do some more research for that one tomorrow. But, surprisingly, normally this would be a game where you'd probably, when everybody was healthy, you'd want to target some players in this game. But I don't see myself really targeting too many people in this game unless my roster just kind of fits and has what I need. But yeah, Chris Paul coming back really kind of defeats, even thinking about Austin Rivers or Raymond Felton. JJ Redick's better with Chris Paul. Chris Paul can set him up with those open threes. They have that penetration, that floor general. So I gotta look into JJ Redick, but I'm thinking he could have some, 6 times upside tomorrow against Golden State. Go ahead, anybody.
I'll take it, Bob. And I'll take it, Bob, and I'll take a page out of your playbook and look at Chris Paul, because that's just a scumbag dirt shit play. I'm coming back off in 3
Takes one to one, man.
with a lot of question marks going on. And point guard's an interesting position tomorrow because we're going to have heavy ownership, especially if Moody is out, with Jameer Nelson and Darren Collison. So why not take a shot? I mean, the bust could happen, and if you played Chris Paul coming off injury, I mean, we're going to get him at, I don't know, maybe 15% ownership. And if he goes off like he can, I think last year he averaged 45 points per game against the Warriors, which still has price tags. It hovers around 6 times value, but he gets 50 points, and we're talking about Jameer Nelson dropping 20. There you go. You're ahead of the field right there. Draymond Green, it's a rivalry game. He seemed a rivalry game in our books. The Warriors don't say it is because the Clippers are dog shit and they can't beat them, but they rise up for this game. Curry, I won't have any stock in. He's too much. Too much of that price with Kyrie and, like I said, dog shit Chris Paul hanging around there. Yeah, I think Blake's a good play. DeAndre kind of worries me. The Warriors tend to run small. So the Warriors run small, we might see Blake at center, which helps Blake, but it also, fucks DeAndre. So what I'm thinking is, if you're going to target anything for that game, you're going to go Blake, you're going to go Chris Paul. Luch said JJ. JJ is a hell of a player with Chris Paul in the lineup, but he gets Klay Thompson. So if you're looking for low ownership, you're going to go Klay, or you're going to go JJ, but he's not safe.
What's up, Bob? You here?
Still here, crazy enough. Yeah, like you guys said, I'm not expecting too much ownership from this game. And for once, I think I may actually keep Crazy in the bag. I may actually just fully fade Chris Paul. I'm not sure about his minutes. He should be fine, but until I hear otherwise, I'm going to assume that he may or may not be on it. Kevin Durant, like Luke said, small forward kind of barren tomorrow. And we don't want to pay up for LeBron. LeBron's upside has not been there as much this season. Yeah, I think for me, Durant and Blake Griffin, especially if they shift Blake to center, like you said, Trey. Yeah, and any potential chance of Klay Thompson instead of defending JJ Redick defending Chris Paul and leaving JJ Redick on Curry would be kind of interesting. But yeah, I think minimal exposure to this game, especially with all the value and all the other craziness kind of happening in the other 5 games.
Yeah, I'm not playing Chris Paul tomorrow. Sorry, Trey. I mean, if I smoked crack and you paid me $500, I wouldn't be playing Chris Paul tomorrow. I don't know. First game back in how long? But you never know. I mean, he's raked in 25 minutes before. I see myself going a different direction there. But hey, to each his own. But before we get out of here, any last words, Trey?
Oh, fuck you.
That's what I was looking for.
Nah, I mean, hopefully tomorrow we're going to have a crazy-ass day. I think we're going to have some wash bombs. It's going to be trade-filled day, and we're going to be scrambling at 5 minutes before lock to throw our lineups together, and it's gonna be. Don't play cash. Do not play cash tomorrow. Whatever you guys do.
Bob, you don't gotta tell Bob twice. What's up, Bob? Before we get out of here.
Not much else. I'm just going to tell you right now, not even a prediction, it's going to be a straight up fact that the winning GPP lineups tomorrow will probably have Terrence Ross, Plumlee, and Chris Paul in them, just because we're talking about the so,
My boys.
Chris Paul will make you $0 tomorrow, and you can take that to the fucking bank, bro. But hey, we're gonna get out of here. Gotta say thanks to my boys Bob and Trey for hanging out tonight. So if you guys like this, give us a retweet, give us a favorite, send us some feedback, and maybe we'll come back and bullshit with you guys for another slate. Make sure you tune into those beat writers, get that news that you need, because it ain't over yet. It ain't over yet. So tomorrow's gonna be wild. Good luck to everybody, and don't roster Chris Paul. Just do me a favor. Just don't roster Chris Paul tomorrow. I'm just kidding. But peace.